Nice.
We are here from Boston, hence repping the
Big
Boston
B.
Red Sox.
Big
And we're also all together. So this is something rare and something fun and something flirty and something cool. So yeah, I think it's due to do a little hello and check in from all of us.
Yeah, I haven't been here in 6 months, so crazy.
So do you want to lead off then?
Checking in, like, what's up?
Yeah, you're a special guest of the episode. So what's going on? Tell us a little bit about your F&Es. Feelings and emotions.
Oh, I'm feeling okay. I was really, really homesick before I came here, but now I'm here, so feeling pretty good. I'm pretty busy. I don't know. I'm like fine.
We'll
I
take like
guess.
fine.
We'll take like fine. Like fine is good.
I mean, not great, but I'm like fine.
like fine is good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I think we're like fine.
I'd echo that.
Yeah. Like fine.
Yeah, doing well. Nice to be home.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see you guys, but
surgery went well. Surgery was this past week.
Oh yes,
and things are good. Just for a little update.
Doug update or dad update works.
Either one.
Update.
Surgery was good. Went well. We're in recovery mode right now, so that's why we're all together. And for Father's Day tomorrow.
I thought it was today, but it's not.
It's never Sunday. On a Saturday.
But yeah, it was nice. I was lucky enough to be here because of my schedule. Well, the day before our dad went into surgery, so I was here with my mom, and that was super fun. And then everyone progressively started to come in more to the house, and we are now at full capacity, which is always really fun and kind of rare, other than like holidays. So at first it was my mom, my dad, and I. Well, I guess me and my mom, and then my dad was in surgery. Then there's the three of us, and then Lucy came the day that he got discharged. So it was four of us, and then Emma came that same day-ish. At what time did you end up getting in?
Friday at 5 a.m.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick with Delta Airlines.
Yeah, so Emma got in while the sun was rising, and then Emma's husband, Will, our brother-in-law, got here.
Shout out, Will.
When did he get here? Saturday morning?
Friday night.
Friday night. I have no sense of time.
Is today Saturday?
Yes. Clearly none of us have a sense of time. But it's nice. It's nice to like all be together and also just like see it like keep growing, and the table at dinner growing more. It's always fun for us, and I'm hopeful that it's fun for our parents too. But
I think they love it. I think they're happy. Growing? Yeah. Well, I think our main purpose for this episode is to check in with you and see how you're doing and feeling and all of that stuff. You have a different perspective than us, I think, on all of this, just being in LA and being further away. So I think like how would you say, first of all, just how you're doing generally, but then how like location and distance is playing a role in just your way of coping with this situation?
Yeah. It sucks. I hate being so far away, and it's really, really difficult to be so far away, and when things are happening and like I can't help because I'm so far away. So that's been really tough. It's also tough to find people who like understand what I'm going through, I guess. But I'm happy to be back. I'm happy that I was able to come back for a little bit. But yeah, it's just being far away is not good. Like there's no really positive way to spin it. Because when I'm far away and I don't know what's going on, I can just like make up worst possible scenarios in my head, and that's not fun. But it's also given me some healthy distance, I think, which is something that I don't think about a lot. So I guess that's like the one positive.
I like the idea of healthy distance because I think like Haley and I are on the East Coast, obviously, and we're back and forth from New York, but we're still not here and not in the house. And I think like, again, it's hard to compare to your situation because you are further away and it's much harder for you to get back. But like, I'll go through a stretch of 4 or 5 weeks when I'm not home, and it feels like it just feels so far away. And I think there's aspects of what we're feeling that you're feeling. I think you're feeling them more extreme because there's also a time change added on and just different schedules and stuff like that. But I do like the idea of healthy distance. What do you like? What does that mean to you? Healthy distance.
Just like a little bit of separation from all of the emotions and all of the events that are happening. Like, I don't know, as much as I would like to like take care of dad on a weekend where mom's out of town, I never have to. I don't know. That's a really bad example. I don't know.
No, I think that's a good example because honestly, like that was really hard. And I think like I came away from the weekend of and taking care of dad. I mean, it's relative. Like I think his back is the main reason why he needs someone to quote unquote take care of him right now, just to make that more clear. But I think like the taking care of him weekend, like Haley did it, and then I came back and did it when our mom was away, advocating for brain cancer funding and support and awareness, and then going to her 40th college reunion, which she had a blast at, which I'm so happy that she did. But like that was tough. And I think I came away from that. Honestly, like I'm not historically a super neat, clean, organized in my personal life type of person.
No.
And I I think I changed. I came away from that not only realizing that dishes burn calories, thanks to my Oura ring, but that like to run a household, it's so much work. It's so much effort. It's way more than I thought it was ever. And I think like I've taken bits and pieces of that and added it to my regular life because I'm like, okay, you can make things easier for yourself having gone through a harder experience. But like that said, I think my point of all of this is that I think it would be very difficult for you. It was very difficult for me. So it's nice to not have to have had to do that. But I'm sure you'll be in a situation like that. I mean, even this weekend.
To be, yeah. Like I want to help, and that's the other part that sucks about being away. But there is a sense of healthy distance sometimes, like that, I guess. And I also have like more space to like process stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can like it's nice to be able to prioritize yourself. Like when we're not here, I'm like, okay, this is my time. I can be selfish. I can choose to hang out with friends. I can choose to not hang out with friends. Like I want to feel like my life is not beholden to other people's schedules or other people's agendas. And obviously, like that's not possible sometimes with work and things like that. But I do feel like when I'm at home, I just have more authority, I guess, for lack of a better word, over my stuff. So it is nice in that sense of like you getting to feel that way. Or I don't want to put words in your mouth. Like if you feel that way.
No, yeah. Like I like have no other choice but to focus on myself and take good care of myself.
Which is so important.
Yeah.
When I'm in LA. So
I think that's really important.
Yeah, but it does really suck. I was just talking to mom about it. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit of a downer, but yeah, it just sucks. Like
Totally.
I really hate being away, and it's sad because I feel like I'm missing out on stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been home this weekend. It's pretty much just a napping house.
No, I know, exactly. Yeah, but no, it's again, like I'm missing out on all these things. I'm making up scenarios in my head because I'm away.
How do you help yourself distinguish between like because and I do the same thing. Like I always am thinking about, okay, what's the worst thing that could be happening? What if I leave next weekend and like something bad happens, right? So how do you, when you're having those feelings, like control that or try to spin it so it's like better for you?
Yeah, that's a really good question because I have an exact example of this. I was in LA during the surgery, during my dad had back surgery, and
Our dad.
No, he's just mine.
Okay.
No, our dad had back surgery, and I was like attached to my phone looking at the time, being like, why hasn't it been like why is it taking this long? It's supposed to be a 20-minute procedure. Like why hasn't anyone updated me? And it's like I took
actually
a pause.
had that wrong. Apparently it's 90 minutes. I was telling him it was 20.
No, 90 was wrong.
Oh.
90 was wrong. They were anticipating 2.5 hours.
Will you tell that to mom because she
Wait, is 90 2.5? No, that's
1.5.
They were anticipating 2.5 and it ended up being 3. It was longer than anticipated, which it typically is, but 20 is no surgery is 20 minutes.
Okay,
That's idiotic.
Well, that derails my answer.
No, but still,
No.
say your answer.
Well, in the hospital when Mom and I were waiting to give you guys information, not only was he delayed 3 hours to even start it, but he also, we thought 92. So it's like, yeah, it was scary.
And yes, he was delayed, but that happens at hospitals. They took great care of him. We love MGH.
Yeah. But all that to say,
the waiting game sucks.
I was just looking at my phone being like, well, they haven't updated me, so that means it's over, or that means like they cut his spine in half, or that means like I don't know. But what I do in those situations, because I have a vivid imagination, I just literally check the facts and I go, okay, the facts are they do this surgery all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
I thought it was 20 minutes. Also checking the facts of how long does the surgery actually take? You need to go up, you need to be put under, you need to do it, you need to like wake up, like it's a really long time. I literally just needed to check the facts, and the biggest fact that I checked to make myself calm down was they do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
I will say on the other side of that too, like I was in the waiting room with Mom, and I'm very glad there was 2 of us there. But like those feelings, even being there, like we still were a part of the unknown. So yes, like I texted you guys the second that I knew and tried to update, but like we were sitting there in person, not feet away. We were probably like, I have no idea, in the same building as where the surgery was happening and still having those emotions. So like sometimes the proximity, like you were in Louisiana at this time during the surgery, you were in LA, and I was in the waiting room, but like I mean, I don't know. I guess it was nice to be there with Mom, but like I didn't feel like I was getting information right away either. Like it's sort of all of that unknown. Like you feel distance even if you're right there.
Yeah. But basically, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
To answer your question, I just check the facts of like, cause sometimes my mind plays tricks on me and I need to take a step back and remember what's true. And that helps me a lot. Just like ground myself and not be like, well, they haven't texted me about the surgery, so obviously the hospital blew up and there are no doctors
and it's
anymore.
It's easier said than done. Like I like that idea of grounding yourself, because I think all of us can fall into the spiral, for lack of a better word, of worst case scenarios. But that's a really good tactic. I might need to steal that from you.
It's great. Please steal it from me. It's a DBT tactic.
I love that. Well, sort of like going off of tactics and things, I guess like obviously like this has been a whirlwind of a process for all of us, and especially you in your situation, being farther away and not being as easily accessible to come home is challenging. So I think we're wondering, just like throughout this process, what you feel maybe you've learned about yourself, maybe like about our family in general, or just like what matters most to you. Like I liked what you were saying with with your tactics and skills, but just like maybe if you want to reflect on that. I know that's sort of a big question, so we can all do it, but
I think a lot more that I'm way less alone than I think I am. And with you, and also with people that like I surround myself with, like something bad has happened to everyone. And I think that's a pretty universal experience. And what else have I learned about myself? I guess that I tend to reach out when I'm feeling sad. I think that makes me feel better, is to reach out and be like, what can I do for everyone else? Because that sort of takes me out of my own little woe is me bubble. And sort of just like, I don't know, like whenever I'm feeling sad, like I want to call one of you guys and be like, how can I be helpful to you? But also just like, I've been calling you guys a lot more and I like talking to you guys.
We have definitely talked a lot more.
Yeah.
That's, I think
we've realized how important like sisterhood, and I mean, not that we didn't know that before.
Yeah, but like we didn't talk every day a few years ago.
No,
totally not.
We talk every single day now.
Yeah, I think where you prioritize family, you prioritize yourself, which I think sometimes means prioritizing family and connection and relationships.
It can look different.
Yeah, that actually bleeds into one of our other questions, which is like, how do you feel? And maybe the answer is it hasn't, but if it has, from your POV, how do you feel like your relationships with dad, mom, the two of us have evolved over this sort of unexpected experience.
Oh yeah. Well, I feel like we've never been closer. Right?
Yeah.
Right, guys?
No, so I feel
I
we feel the
agree.
same. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I edit the podcast, so I know what you hoes be talking about.
I think
Sorry.
it's like low-key like trauma bonded. Like it
No, it
Yeah.
is. And like it's just like
misery loves company.
it's the
Literally.
unknown experience. I mean, not the unknown, but it's like the unspoken. It's happening to us in the same way. Like he's our dad. No one else is going through exactly what we're going, but we are. All three of us are
right.
actually.
But even like
going.
mom, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm interrupting. But even like mom is going through this, but in a different lens than
Exactly.
the three of us are. And I think
And that's
it's
what
like,
we talked about.
thank God we're not only children.
Yeah.
Because it's
Thank
like
God.
understand. Yes, even the way that all of us are viewing it and coping and reacting in some ways is different because we all are different humans. But like the whole feeling of like this is our father who we all love with and have a great relationship with, and like that's the way it's impacting us is very, very niche to our relationship with him, which is like no one in the world understands it understands what I'm feeling as much as you do and and vice versa.
Like no one else except for you guys. And I think my relationship with mom has changed and grown because I talk to her candidly about my feelings a lot more than I have in the past. Like I cry in front of mom every time I see her almost, just because I don't know, I'm just like really, I don't know, comfortable doing that.
She has that effect sometimes. She's very like welcoming. I
She
hear her
is.
voice and I'm like, ah.
No, but literally like and it's
I don't really
interesting
cry.
also because but that's fine. I love you. But I call mom all the time and I'm like, what's up? What's new? And she's like, oh, like let me go get daddy. And I'm like, no, like I called to talk to you, girlfriend. Like, what's up with you? Like, how are you? Like,
sweet.
so I'm because I just want to make sure that she knows that she's valued and loved also. Like she doesn't need to be going through what dad's going through to like be able to like reach out. I don't know, but
Yeah.
And then my relationship with dad has grown and changed in really interesting ways. I feel like my dad and I have all our dad and I have always been very candid and honest with each other about everything, including life and death and everything. So I think I've talked to dad a lot about like existentialism and like we're very able to like just talk about like what's next together very like honestly and very like kind of without emotion, which is interesting. I think we're able to like talk about his mortality together, and that's really interesting. That's like deepened our talks and stuff. And we have a very similar sense of humor, we all do, but dad and I have a very similar sense of humor regarding what's going on. So I also think that I give him some laughs that maybe he looks for from you guys, and you guys are just sick of his shit. So I think that's how I think it's changed. But yeah, it's just been really interesting to just learn more about my dad and like what he thinks about everything. And I don't know why, for some reason, I'm able to talk to him about this stuff without really getting emotional, but it has truly deepened our relationship, I think. And I just love talking to him. He's so interesting.
He is.
He's the most interesting man on the planet.
Literally.
He is. Agreed.
But yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah, it totally does. I think that's a great answer. Branching off of that, have you had like specific conversations or specific moments, I guess, where you feel like more connected or most connected even when you're not here?
Yeah, I think every time my dad and I talk about like mental health or something.
Like over FaceTime or something?
Yeah, or over the phone. Every time we talk about anything over the phone, I feel like I'm pretty connected. And I try to call them all the time, but it's fun in a way that like they're not doing too much because, like, if I call and talk about, like, a movie that I like, they'll watch it because it's like, what else would we do? So,
Yeah.
like, I told them to watch Conclave because I was like, you guys don't even know it's tea. Like, all these guys do is gossip. That's what the movie is. This is a plug for Conclave. Send me my check. But it was just, I don't know. It's been nice. I've always had a good phone relationship with them, but now it's like every time I have a spare moment. And I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it's interesting because when I was younger, I used to call my dad being like, this thing happened with my friends and like da 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 da, and like I don't know what I want to do and I'm so sad and da da da, and like he would talk me through that, and now it's developed where he calls me and he's like, I'm really nervous about this surgery, and I'm like, that makes sense. I'm nervous too. Like, surgery is scary, but again, checking the facts. They do this all the time. It's going to make your life better. So I think we haven't like changed roles, but it's shifted.
It evolves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And
I think
that's,
that's
like,
part of being an adult.
Yeah,
too,
part of
which
growing
is-
up, and also just like growing up with certain circumstances that you're faced with where it's like that parent-child dynamic of like, oh, dad fixed my problem, dad helped me with this, is like I still put him on that pedestal, honestly.
Oh,
like I do
me
think
too.
everything he says is amazing and perfect and right. And his advice I will forever follow, like just like that advice in my head and all of those skills he's taught us. But it is interesting to be a voice of wisdom or be a comfort resource, a rock, and whatever metaphor you want to throw at it. But I do think that it is hard almost to have that realization, like, oh, you're a person too. But like,
Yeah.
it's also kind of beautiful.
It is hard. It's like a little bit of mourning. Like, I went through a period where I had to realize that, like, my dad isn't going to solve all of my problems anymore.
Mhm.
I need to step up and solve them for myself. And like, that was a sad realization, but a necessary one because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And
That's why growing up sucks.
Yeah.
oh no, my God, it sucks so bad. But yeah.
And I think, and was that a realization that you had like recently with all of his stuff? Because I do remember being like, you would come home or being on vacation or whatever, and you would get upset and be like, oh, I just like want to, like, I wish that we were still kids. I wish that like I didn't have all this responsibility. And like, yeah, I think there's elements of all of us that wish that at moments. But
Yeah.
for you specifically, I know that was like a big point of just you sort of craving that childhood again.
Yeah.
And I think like this is made that harder, but maybe it's put things in perspective.
It really has, like, exactly that. Like, this really just like kicked it into me of like, oh yeah, no, you got to be self-sufficient.
Like, time to cut the shit.
Time to cut the shit. You're an adult and now your dad needs you. So
totally. What this was like another, and we touched on it a little bit, but what you were just saying reminded me of it. What are things, I guess, or like words of wisdom or just stuff that dad has instilled in you that
oh my God,
you know that you're going to carry on forever?
Every single day of my life, I say to myself, it's not an emergency.
I love that one.
It's my favorite thing. And even like my mentor in the music industry said it to me on my first tour, and I like almost did a double take. So I was like, my dad says that all the time. And like when I'm on stage striking a set, when someone's calling me about sending a budget, like, it's not an emergency. Nothing is an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And that just like again grounds me and like reminds me that like, you're good.
Yeah.
It's not an emergency. And I know that's like, it's not an emergency. That's like, what, 4 words?
No, but it's big ones. I mean, we always say it's PR, not ER, like at work. We're like, we're not surgeons.
That's funny.
That's really funny. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Do you have any that you stand out for you for like advice or with things of wisdom?
Don't be sorry, just be aware. That's my favorite thing he's ever said to us.
I have
well, but it's also like, and that I think is more just like, yeah, you can be sorry when you have a reason to be sorry. But I think,
but don't just like,
yeah, just be aware, change your actions, like understand why something went wrong. And if it's your fault, fix it. But you don't need to like, I don't know. I mean, obviously be sorry if you fucked up, but
That's
anyway,
a really good one.
I just hear him say that all the time. It's like, because I would
forgot
say
about
sorry,
that.
sorry. He's like, don't be sorry, just beware. What's yours?
I have two. Well, I echo yours, but you always have to echo when you go third, I feel like. My first one is ironic because I don't think I actually have taken this. And I'm sure some people watching
don't binge drink.
No, Emma. It's this. Some people watching this are going to be like, "Bruh,
stop drinking."
But he always is like, let me think about it. 15 minutes early is on time. On time is late, and late is unacceptable.
Yeah, that's true.
I used to be really on time. I've been a little late ever since moving to New York, but I think that's like normal because like Subway and like
that's like New York
ditzy. Yes.
Yeah,
and I have been very late recently in my life, but it's fine. But another one I love, and I'm gonna like butcher it because it wasn't necessarily like a saying or a couple words like your guys was, but I remember like being really self-conscious and like about the way I looked or like wearing an outfit that I've already worn and all this like dumb crap, but like things in when I was younger that really bothered me and like honestly like bothered me not that long ago too. And he would just say, he'd be like, everyone's focused on themselves, like no one cares about you. And it sounds crazy. It sounds mean when he's like, no one cares about you.
No one does.
But what he's instilling is like everyone is so preoccupied with themselves that they don't give a shit if you wear this sweater 3 days in a row. No one's going to notice because they only care about what they're wearing.
I did because it smells.
Well, I picked it up from I actually picked it out of the laundry today. Like
it smells fine.
I was just joking.
Oh, it has.
No, but you're exactly right. Like no one cares about you as much as you.
Yes, that was it. I always mix it up, and I was like, I've said this before because someone was like, "What's a piece of advice in like a class I had that was stuck out with you?" And I was like, "Oh, my dad told me like no one cares about you," and everyone in the class like kind of got silent. And I was like, I feel like I might be missing.
My dad says no one gives a shit about me.
Yeah. POV, the professor's like, "Hey, Hales, want to stay after?" I'm like, kidding, that didn't happen.
He also said something when I called him when I was like 24, when I just quit acting. When I just quit acting and I was like, this doesn't make me happy. And I literally called him sobbing, what's new? And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I should do. Everyone else knows and I don't. What's my purpose? Blah, blah, blah. And he like, I'm almost 25. I should know. And he literally was just like, Lucy, full stop. That's what your 20s are for, is for figuring it out. And I was like,
God, he's so wise.
I know. I was like, God damn it. And I literally say that to my friends once a week. Because all of my friends, especially now that I'm 27, all my friends have been having like...
if you say midlife crisis, I'm going to smack you across the face.
Not midlife crisis. Okay. Have been having just like ego crises. They just are like, I don't know what to do with my life. And like, am I supposed to be doing this? And I'm just like, it's the best piece of advice to echo to other people because they also were like, God damn it, that's so true.
Yeah. Why is this guy I know?
I love all the dadisms. We should start like posting those, like dadisms.
All right.
I think that's good.
Do you want to sing us out?
Sometimes in our lives.
Just cut it.